Hey guys, it's FXO here, and I'm here to show you my first place LLDS deck list. It's a pendulum deck, as you would expect, but it's really good, so what can I say? Performapal Red Joker, 3 Pendulum Sorcerer, 1 Guitar Tool, 2 Lizard Draw, and the Radish Horse. The Radish Horse is really good because you just summon Joker, search this out, special it, and just overlay it for like a direwolf and get rid of that back row, because it's usually going to be a strike. You don't want to take the risk, because your pendulum summon is really important, because you want to make sure you get this off. Then you run Draco Slayer and the Draco Overload Engine. I only play 2 Master because 3 I found was way too cloggy. So you play 1 of each, 2 of that and 1 of that. I mean, the last is a given. And for your Odd Eyes Engine, you play the Phoenix, the Unicorn, and the Odd Eyes Mirage. The Odd Eyes Mirage just has more relevance than Unicorn, because aside from it being a Performer Power, this is just better because it's level 3 that you can exceed. However, the Odd Eyes Unicorn effect does come in relevant sometimes, but not often enough to justify running 2 over 1 of this. Then you run the 1 Kirin, obviously if you play it, it's really good. And I run the Ariadne, because I'm running 3 strikes. And the Ariadne is really good because you max out Sky Iris and you have the Lost Pendulum. And it's really good to get the strike as fast as you can. It's like a race. And 3 Abductor, naturally, because you want to search that Kirin out, the Luster out, the Joker as fast as you can. The name of the game is just make sure you get set up before your opponent. And then 2 Maxi, because you want to make sure that your opponent doesn't have a big board when it's your turn. And the Draco face-off, easy +1. The Upstart is not only just relevant for making a 39 card deck, but also gives a counter for Abductor. The 1 Instant Fusion, again, it's like a card that I thought would be easy to give a counter to Magical Abductor, but it does come in clutch sometimes, when you just draw it off the top. Odd Eyes Fusion, very needed. If your opponent overextends, you can just activate this and come back. The 1 Ignite Reload, this is actually really good because it unclogs your hand really well. Like sometimes you draw like Vector, Lecter, and it makes your Draco face-off dead. You just activate this, shuffle them back in, and just live again. Then you max out on the Sky Iris and the Terraforming, because you just want to see this card every game. You want to make sure you're resolving this every game and every turn. Sometimes, yeah, it can get cloggy, like you can draw more than 1, but that's fine, because it's better than having 2 in your hand than none in your hand. And finally, you play 1 Warning and 3 Solemn. I can't find my 3rd one at the moment, but I play 3 Solemn. And finally, the Vanity Emptiness. It's too good not to run. Like, I would be okay with running this, but the fact that you can just shut down your opponent's play with 1 card is just so devastating. And you have a really easy way to turn it off, because you can just Sky Iris. And then for the extra deck, we have 1 Ignister, the Magister, Castel, Dweller for BA and other floating decks, Diamond Direwolf, so I can pop the strike like I mentioned. I've popped quite a few strikes with this. It's very important to have this in your deck. The Feral Imp to search your second Lizard Draw, the Trapeze Magician for OTKs, Utopia Lightning Combo to deal with stuff like Herald. You know, you can't kill them, but with this they can't respond, you just kill them. That goes to Emerald, so you can refresh your Ignister. Norden for the instant fusion. Dinoster, still a very powerful card, it just protects all your scales and monsters. Odd Eyes Vortex, and the 2 materials for Odd Eyes. And finally the side deck. I ran 3 Gamma Steel, because they're just really annoying cards now, like such as Herald, Omega, you know, they just float, and it's really hard to get rid of, and lock you down. So 3. Then I ran 2 Ghost Ogre for the Pendulum Mirror, and other cards like Ritual Sanctuary, that's a really problem card, this gets rid of it. 2 Effect Veiler, some rogue decks, they really lose hard to Effect Veiler. Triple MST, I don't main any MSTs because I'm playing to go first. And even if I don't go first, I usually manage to play around the back row anyway. But the 3 MST is generally, for the Pendulum matchup, very heavy back row hate or anti-spells, because that card is killer. 2 Royal Decrees, this is mostly for Demise matchups, but there are other random decks that just run a lot of traps, but mostly it's for Demise matchups. If you flip this against Demise and they have no response, you're probably going to win that turn. 2 Light Imprisoning Mirror, this is more of a Blue Eyes and Herald thing. It's not... The Tellarknights were very prominent for whatever reason, but you wouldn't side this in against Tellarknight because it only stops the on-field effects, whereas Blue Eyes and Herald, it affects everything because it stops Ben 10, It stops Sage, it stops Ancient Stone, all that stuff. And finally, the Soul Drain against any graveyard-based decks. This is really important to have because your Pendulum, you're not playing any float effects. It's definitely good to have. Alright guys, that was it. That was my first place LLDS event. Won this pretty nice looking mat. Pretty good. Anyway, it's been FXL. I'll see you guys next time.